Hey y'all, cooking, cutting up, keeping it real. Tomato basil tart is what I'm gonna be doing today, or basil tomato tart. Do you ever have those days that you're just not sure what you want to eat, but you know you want something that tastes fresh? It's one of those days for me. I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna throw together this basil tomato tart, and a lot of people call it tomato pie, okay? So I have gotten some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful vegetables from Hinton Farms. I didn't have any more zucchini, and I never even raised an eggplant, but I'm gonna put that in my tomato basil pie or basil tomato tart. I try to say it correctly, but anyway, tomato pie, let's say that. So I have taken I had frozen these pie crusts, there's 2 of them, the Pillsbury, and I have put it in a ceramic or pottery. Yeah, I've had it for 31 years. Anyway, I love to bake in it. The pie, when I baked it for 8 minutes on 375, and you know, it shrunk down a little bit, but that's okay. It's still gonna taste really good. I'm actually getting ready for a visitor. Mr. Chad Tucker is gonna be in my kitchen, and it's gonna be my privilege to have him here. I know that he likes to eat, and I know that he likes fresh food, farm fresh food. So farm to table, I'm gonna try to feed him to the best of my ability. So thank you, Hinton Farms, for giving me some of those beautiful veggies. If you're local and you need veggies, Hinton Farms is on Facebook and Instagram, and I will tag them in the title so that y'all can see where they are. I'm gonna mince 3 cloves of garlic, 2 kind of small one, 1 medium, and I'm just gonna give it a rough chop here. I have already washed and sliced 5 Roma tomatoes. And I put those out on a cookie sheet on napkins or paper towels, because I want all the water that I can possibly get out of the Roma tomatoes. I want them out for this recipe. You know, I want it to be really good if Chad Tucker's coming, okay? All right, I'm gonna take that garlic and I'm gonna put it into my little mixing bowl here, my Tupperware mixing bowl that I've had forever and a happy day. And I'm gonna come back to that in just a minute. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and mix that. I need a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. And I'm gonna eyeball this, and I'm gonna use Duke's. You can use sour cream with this recipe. You can also use Greek plain yogurt. I've done it, and it tastes really good. But it's Chad Tucker, and he was raised in the country, and I would bet he was raised on Duke's mayonnaise, just my guess. So I'm gonna eyeball about a 1/2 cup of that. And then to this, I'm gonna put my cheese in. I bought the Italian 5 cheese. It's Kraft. I got it at Food Line. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna use all of it as an 8-ounce bag. I also had just a little bit of sharp cheddar that I had grated, so I'm gonna toss that in as well. I have had the privilege in years past to cook for Chad and Natalie and a couple other anchors on WGHP Fox 8, which is a local news station here. And I love cooking for people that love to eat. I do, I really do. Anyway, I'm gonna mix this up. Just kind of press it and get that mayonnaise and that cheese all together. And the cloves of garlic. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's build our pie. Make sure the mayonnaise is pretty even, because I'm gonna dollop it on there and just kind of spread it. I've got my oven at 375. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm gonna cut this beautiful eggplant. I'm gonna do it kind of thin, but I just thought, since they're in season and Hinton Farms had them, I know that an eggplant takes on whatever flavor you add to it, and I just thought it'd make a pretty layer in this tomato basil tart. And you know, it's Chad Tucker, so you know, the pressure's on because I know that he was raised with really good cooks. Okay, I'm gonna take my Roma tomatoes. Try not to drop them in the floor. I'm gonna take that off. And I'm gonna place these as pretty as I know how in this pie shell. And I didn't make this pie shell. I bought it at the grocery store. So this is definitely a recipe that you can make your own if you want to, but you don't have to. And just let those colors of summer. I'm gonna put another layer. Oh, let's see. And it'll be pretty when we cut it, I hope. You know, the pressure's always on when somebody else is coming to your kitchen. Okay, now I'm gonna put some salt and pepper over these tomatoes. Not too much, I don't wanna overpower them. And he can add salt and pepper to his if he likes more than that. Okay, now I'm gonna lay a layer of eggplant. I just think it'll be pretty when we cut it. Let me get one more for the center. Oh, it's not too good. Let me get a bigger. Let me try one more time. Don't want them to be too thick or too thin. There we go. Chad is the perfect person. Let me scratch my nose. The perfect person to be in my kitchen to try something new, because he is that kind of guy. Okay, let me not forget my basil. I have cut and washed this basil, and so instead of chopping it, I'm gonna lay it, because the leaves are really big, and I'm gonna layer it in there. And then that'll also be pretty when we cut it, and it'll taste wonderful. Like garden fresh, everything. I love a tomato with basil. I just do. Let me get that out. That's a brown piece. Okay. I don't want no brown piece for Chad Tucker, okay? All right, let me close this up, get it out of the way. I'm gonna bake this for 35 minutes on 375 in my oven. Now your oven, if you want to try this recipe, it can vary. So just know that, keep an eye on it. You want it to be brown and bubbly. But you talk about good. It is one of those recipes of summer that is just, it smells good, it looks good, and it tastes good. It just does. Okay, let's see if I can make this look. I always say make it look professional because I'm not a professional cook. I just do it a whole lot. Get that back in there. Let me take that out. I don't want that in there if it's going to be messing up my cheese and my mayonnaise. Let me tuck that in and put me a dollop over there. Spread it out. As it cooks, of course, the cheese is going to melt, and with that mayonnaise, it's going to be creamy and gooey, and I cannot wait. I'm trying to feel with my fingers to feel where the cheese is too thick, and my fingers are clean. Okay, there we go. Let's leave it like that, but let's tuck this bad boy under. There we go. Okay, I'll post this video, and Facebook is so nice to be able to let us post a picture of it at the beginning of the video, and then I'll post some pictures in the comments as well. Basil tomato tart going into the oven, 375 for 35 minutes in my oven. And let me just, okay. All right, I'll show you a picture when it's done. Basil tomato tart, y'all. taste of summer for Chattuck. Can't wait. See y'all.